right here, because what he was speaking about is that fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get to the lovey-dovey, because we got something from Miss Cheesecake and Deaf Poetry. Okay, we have an audio that is streaming on all platforms. But before we get there, we're gonna play Fight or Flight. All right, this is for all of you. I'm frozen to the bone. That's what the psych says. He says my heaviness and darkness is in my soul. He says I'm cold and I'm cold, but he's wrong. I am a soul. So this one's for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and it'll go away, but it's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling and smiling all along, singing to the wrong song. But today, it's a new day, and we control our fate. This one's for the fighter on fight or flight mode. When you're wondering how to regulate your highs and your lows, we are living in constant state of stress, conditioned to the rush of the arousal, conditioned to addiction, to the emotion, not being able to control the outcome, because we can't predict our future outcome, but we on threat or danger in this outer and inner world we can't see. We're living with TDC, threat, duress, and coercion. We feel the suffocation, so some of us, we turn to meditation, avoiding that detrimental medication. It's like we feel this overwhelming lack of patience. We do realize they want us to be the perfect patient. It's our brain and body not in homeostasis. This one is for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and we know it will go away, but it's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling and smiling all along, singing to the wrong songs. But today, it is a new day, and we control our fate. Fight or flight affects our nervous system. Enormous energy and resources are placed on the wrong images and mindsets. Our organism perceives danger, alternating a rush of adrenaline. Fight or flight. My heart rate increases, my energy decreases, pupils dilate, salivary juices can't control my respiration. Time to fight, time to hide. Unbalanced, seeking to regenerate. But today I continue to speak to the fighter in me, no longer in solitude, but living in gratitude. No need of fight or flight, just taking it a bit easy. Truly receiving the joy in my life, my joy for existence, having appreciation, celebrating my kindness when I know we all can change the way we think. Fight or flight. I speak to my body, my environment, and I'm kind to my time. No need to get back to the familiar or the highly analytical, over-focused state, just changing the scenario. And I never realized my addiction to my state of fight or flight. I was addicted to a life I didn't even like. Whether it was a relationship, despicable relatives, that cutthroat coworker, I was addicted to a life I didn't even like. I say rise, speak up, be brave, don't let no one ruin your day. No one ruin your life. It's your life. You change your fate. So this one's for the ones who've been on that mode of fight or flight, trying to remain alive, living on survival mode. It's a feeling and I know it'll go away. It's an addiction to living a life we don't love, preferring to do it all alone, smiling all along, singing to the wrong songs. But today is a new day. We control our fate. I'm Dr. Poetry, and you're not alone. Fight or flight. That one's for you, Def. And that's for all
Yeah.
of you out there.
Fight or flight. And for y'all that don't know, fight or flight is a response in the survival mechanism that we have. And it's triggered by perceived threats that we see,
And we're
uh,
used to.
that we're used to. It's an
We're used
automatic reaction. Your body's prepared for either confronting the danger or fleeing from it.
Mm-hmm.
And even with flight or flight, these uh, that ties into PTSD and chronic trauma. And I do understand that everyone has a form of PTSD. So
to.
fight or flight, just like you were describing, Dr. Poetry, you were saying it's this stem from family, from work,
The projects.
There
I
you
was
go.
telling you the other day, he's from South Camden. I'm from the South Bronx. And we have a lot in common. And I say this because growing up in the South Bronx, and I know you could relate, South Camden, I grew up in the housing projects. John Adams, shout out to y'all, John Adams houses. I remember growing up on the 15th floor. And just to get in the elevator and all those different stops that you got to see on those different floors just to get to the 15th floor it was traumatic. And if the elevators were broken, I had to walk up the stairs. Okay. I had to take the train. But not only did I have to worry about what goes on in the home sometimes, right? We talk about domestic violence, certain things that went on in the home, but just even walking out and bottles being thrown at you because a girl don't like you, right? Because you look pretty, but they're going to throw a bottle at you. So now sometimes when I walk through the projects, when I'm walking to visit family in the Bronx, PTSD, I just be like, wait, I'll be looking at the roof just to make sure I don't get hit by a bottle or an egg. I'm not saying that I still walk around with that, but I still have it in me to just be like, damn, I remember they used to throw bottles out the window, right? Just surviving in a ghetto is a trauma, is a fight or flight. You're already on there. So this is all before being a police officer. So you're already like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go into, for instance, Def saw a lot in South Camden, and then you go and you become a Marine. I become a state police officer. And we see a lot. 17 years of law enforcement. I'm telling you, I'm about to be 18 years on the law enforcement, and it's not easy. Before we get into it, I want to do a quick commercial break because I want to definitely
promo, y'all.
We have a promo for a new show that's coming in. Now that we're talking about the Marines and police officer, this is a new show coming to Hear Me Out Poetry's channel over here, Dr. Poetry's channel, with our host, Def Poetry, and myself. Underneath the police uniform, I'm just like you. A lover of laughter with dreams that grew. In every smile I share, a story unfolds. A reminder that compassion, it never grows old. Behind the badge, my heart beats the same. A melody of empathy, compassion, and fame. With every act of kindness, I'm trying to be that change. Using my voice to break through the range. Underneath this uniform, I'm a human being with feelings and emotions. A story worth seeing through the triumphs and struggles. Spreading love, hope, and the power of love. But a soul with a purpose, seeking no fame. Underneath this police uniform, I am real. I'm a woman of strength with love. Nothing to keep behind in a secret. Just love to reveal. Because underneath this police uniform, I am human. A woman, not the norm. I may wear satin and lace and pearls underneath, but here to heal. Break the world's swirls. I fight the darkness to protect the weak. And in the line of duty, my compassion, it doesn't just peak, it lives and bleeds through the chaos. I find my grace. I think of being a warrior with love in every chase. The beneath part of being a police officer is that behind the badge, a heart beats strong, and I'm ready to mend what's been torn for so long, because with kindness as my weapon, I'll prevail. In the name of justice, I will lift the veils. I am love. I am truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I repay my karmic debt, it shall be fulfilled, because I am the change. And my only aim is to heal and not kill. I wanna heal and not kill. You see, I have a hard time explaining things sometimes, because most people don't see that power is an intoxication of the indoctrination, causing frustration from all the emotional suffocation. And that's why my beloved is constantly telling me, you must stay balanced and stay centered. Because every tear I wipe, every soul I save in this uniform, I don't want to be a hero engraved in a tombstone. I am human with kindness as my weapon. I keep saying, I am human underneath this police uniform. Yeah. Underneath that police uniform, we have a lot of stories. And we have a lot of poetry. And I'm sure this soldier right here has a lot of stories too. And you will be hearing from us very soon. We'll be touching on some of the social justice issues that are going on. How we will be interviewing folks also behind the badge, behind the uniform. So look for that, because we are coming soon with that. That is the promo. That is our intro. And I really truly hope that you show up, and all those police officers out there listening, paramedics, nurses, soldiers, anyone who's been serving, public servants, call us. We would love to hear your story. And if you write poetry, even better. How do you cope? How do you deal with the things you see? When you retire, how do you handle that when you go home now and you're not dealing with that, right? So yeah, we want to hear the good and the bad. We want to talk about all that. So that's what's coming soon. It's called Floetic Justice, behind the
Yeah.
badge, right? Behind the uniform. So
Yes, I look forward to
yeah.
that. The story time.
Yeah,
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 man,
yeah.
I'm telling
Excited
y'all.
about that. We also have another show that we're going to show today is a promo. We're going to be coming forward with it here shortly. We don't have a date yet, y'all, but stay tuned.
Right.
Uh, but we have another show. It's called "What in the Borinquen is Going On,"
What
where we're
okay.
going to be touching on topics, political, economically, and social, socially, on what's going on in the island of Borinquen, Puerto Rico, today, current events, news,
That's
and,
right.
problems and struggles that go unnoticed, aren't talked about, and also raising awareness on, you know, the day-to-day life events in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Uh,
We just had a blackout. I'm sure, as a law enforcement officer serving and not having any type of electricity in my home, nor throughout the whole island, and dangerously working under no power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a challenge. So we're gonna get to it. This is a quick promo, y'all. We're coming through. We're coming through. We're coming through. Right after this, we will definitely play Miss Cheesecake and Deaf Poetry, y'all. Don't go nowhere. This is a promo coming soon, y'all. It's coming soon. Don't forget. And if we can get this, it'll be great. Yeah. They want to be free. 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 Free. They say they want to be free, yet they're not willing to plant any seeds. So how do we expect to be free without being self-sufficiently, governmentless, living independently? Who's they? They who want change yet still sell their dignity and freedom in exchange for business transactions and political man-made sanctions, preferring an economical, political, and judicial system, welcoming corporatocracy. They're willingly controlled by business corporations, corporate interests. Corporate interests. I call it hypocrisy. Elizabeth Warren once referenced Theodore Roosevelt, warning regarding powerful corporate entities threatening the very foundations of democracy, explaining back bailouts, excessively paying for CEOs, and the exploitations of national treasuries, people, and natural resources. Yes, I'm gonna be criticizing globalization, corporatocracy, and a perverted form of aristocracy called oligarchy. Capitalism, bankers controlling the flow of currency, the wave of alchemy, with just a few to rule and command those with nobility, fame, and wealth. Feudalism is capitalism controlled by corporatocracy, owned by the oligarchy, which are the black nobility. I'ma say it again. I'm criticizing globalization, corporatocracy, and a perverted form of aristocracy called oligarchy, capitalism, bankers, controlling the flow of currency, the wave of alchemy, with just a few to rule and command those with nobility, fame, and wealth. Because feudalism is capitalism, controlled by corptocracy, owned by the oligarchy, which are the black nobility. So tell me, I want to know, how do we expect to be free if we're not willing to plant any seeds free and live self-sufficiently, providing for our own needs, providing for our own needs. Listen, stay tuned for that as well. We're going to get into it. We're going to find out what the problem is. What is it that's going on? What in the Borinquen is going on here? That is what we're going to be talking about.
I'm ready to listen. I'm
I'm
excited.
excited
Yeah,
for that. I'm excited for that.
definitely,
Everybody stay tuned.
definitely get it. That's right, yeah. And let's get to this. I love this. We definitely are excited to hear Mr. Def Poetry with Miss Cheesecake. And this is a little twist in what we've been talking about today. This is a little different, y'all. This is called It's Over. It's over. And I love Miss Cheesecake on this. You know I love you. I love what she does. Her poetry is so dope. The Sade of poetry. I can't stress that enough. Dope, dope, dope. And Mr. Def Poetry came in. And I love what y'all did here. This is one
Check
of
it
my
out.
favorites, by the
On
way.
all streaming platforms too. So y'all make sure y'all check that out.
Y'all need to listen. The video's coming soon.
Oh
It's
yeah.
coming soon, y'all. Y'all gotta listen. But listen to this. Make sure y'all go and get this song because this is dope.
I was too busy living that fast life, switching gears like a 10 speed. I didn't purposely race to an ending, and I guess in every way, I crashed out. Forgive me. Forgive me for telling you this was forever. Now forever, in my mind, all I replay is my failures, as if the Mylar broke in my internal VHS. Playing back the memories that I can't refurbish. Rare to see a ladybug land in your presence, yet I didn't think to handle you with care, nor value the moments when you were here. Forgive me, and if not soon or ever again, I'd hope for the opportunity for you to trust me again. If not lovers, just for the chance to not lose my truest friend.
My heart aches with the worst pain, tears falling down my face like the pouring rain. Missing you is an understatement, but the love we shared was so complacent. Going down memory lane sometimes makes me feel like I'm truly going insane, but I gotta release you with love. Even though once upon a time we were snug tight like a glove. You probably thought you broke me, but what happened is the pain you instilled definitely invoked me. How we start off as strangers, fell in love, and now we both come with warning signs like danger. I always knew I would fall in love with you, but here we are now. I'm over with you. I can't do this with you, because now we're through. But I always remember the love I gave was true. Now that we're done, now that we're through.
I love that. I love that.
We did that.
You sure did. I love when you say it's over. I'm done with you. I can't do this anymore. Like I really, really miss Cheesecake. And then you feeling all bad about it. You're like, you don't want to lose your truest friend. Like that was so, oh, and I felt that. Like
Oh yeah.
when I first heard it, I was like, oh my, and then the beat, like I love do 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 do. That was shout out to that, y'all. That's
Cheesecake. When we wrote that, I know we both were able to feed off of each other and really create a solid story. Like I feel like I know I can walk through it. I can vision it. I can envision the whole
Absolutely.
thing. Um, in that relationship, you know, that you had, right? Not to get too personal, but what did it teach you?
but
What did it teach you about love, communication, and yourself?
Ooh. Okay, so great question. First of all, I just want to say the timing of that piece actually coming. I had literally just came out of a breakup,
So we're going.
so I'm like, oh, okay. So we can ready to get deep. What I learned from that relationship is To not necessarily expect perfection, but to also prioritize my needs. Um, it was a situation to where I definitely kind of put myself on the back burner a lot. I was putting myself out there, constantly trying to prove myself like I'm not doing anything, which is crazy because this ties all into everything that we've been talking about. It was a lot of hypervigilance going on both of our parts. So many different confusing situations that were going on, but I learned, more so importantly than anything, to give people grace, but at the same time prioritize myself, love myself more, as well as, um, taking that necessary time to heal, understanding that there was a relationship dynamic that started off with a friendship, and just memorializing that.
Right.
No negativity, no animosity. I release you with love, and that's where I was at with it.
That's beautiful.
I think sometimes with that we end up, sometimes we get caught in not being our authentic selves,
Mm-hmm.
and put ourselves in the back burner.
Yes.
Do you feel like there were any red flags you ignored early on in the relationship?
Yes.
So I think that's something we do sometimes as well.
Definitely. It was a lot of red flags. One thing in particular that stood out for me is love bombing. Being
Mm,
neurodivergent, I have very, very great pattern recognition. But being an ADHDer, and we're going to dive off into that a whole lot further as we carry on into the poetic clinic. There's a thing about love bombing that interests us more so than what genuine love looks like, because it's fast, it's intense, there's a dopamine hit that we're looking for. So I
mm,
saw that immediately and I'm like, "Ooh, I am in love. I like this guy so much." And then, like, slowly but surely I started to see little pieces and cracks. And I'm like, there's love bombing, there's gaslighting, there's arguments over nothing.
mm,
Um Constantly questioning myself. I'm going through cognitive dissonance. Then I started, self blaming. Then it was a lot of blame shifting, and it was just chaos. And then when it was chaos, there was peace for him, not for me. And I
Mm.
noticed that, like, it's time to go.
wow. That's a lot.
Hmm.
And that's broken down like pretty much you broke it down to the in a way that we all could understand what you're saying because you said all this in the poetic clinic when you touched on narcissism.
Hmm.
And I hate to, you know how I feel about that word, but all that stuff. But I understand why you use them because it makes sense. Like
Hmm.
I'm telling you, I have learned with a master's degree. I feel like throwing it away sometimes because I've learned a lot more with ANN, with the PDFs and the cheesecakes and the Granny Wowzers and the deaf poetries and everyone that's been coming through offering all this information. And what you're saying is dope because that outlet that you guys used, which is poetry, it's over. You were able to bring that. I felt it. Like
Absolutely.
you didn't
He
say all
pushed
that
me.
that you said here, but those words that you said, I felt that what you just said.
Yeah, he
You
pushed
know what
me.
I
He
mean?
said, "Come on, cheese, tap into that space. I know you can get there."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, okay."
Such a
And with
marine.
because you're not the only one who at times haven't put themselves first.
Hmm.
I'm sure we all could relate in
Yeah.
certain situations. Moving forward for yourself, do you have certain needs that you place for yourself, looking into a future relationship that maybe wasn't met in previous relationships? Like, do you set certain needs for yourself now?
That's a good
Absolutely.
question. That's a great question.
Absolutely. One of those things for sure: clear and concise communication, transparency, consistency, vulnerability, um, and understanding that, yeah, true enough, we all gonna have our days. We're not going to experience perfection all the time, but let me know. Let me know. Do not leave me out. If you're going through some shit, let's talk about it.
Communication.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Man, I like that. I
Yeah,
love that.
and just some reminders, also for everybody viewing. I know heartbreaks and breakups are rough, but just because you necessarily have a breakup, it doesn't mean failure.
That's right.
It often means growth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're growing, and that relationship comes to a halt because that partner doesn't want to grow with you. or
Mhm.
can't. You know, when you miss someone, it doesn't necessarily mean you've made the wrong choice. You know,
Mm-mm.
it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel those emotions. And also healing, it takes time. You know, it's not linear. You know, it takes time. All
Absolutely.
right. So everybody watching, make sure, you know, just keep your heads up, you know, head high to the sky.
That's right. I love that. We gotta get going, y'all. But before we go, we have a new song that's not out yet.
Oh, we got a
We never
treat.
we never do this.
Ooh,
Ooh.
We never do this. I never do a video
preview.
song that's not out yet. But this one was fun. Tell you a little quick story. I love Willie Colon. I love Willie Colon. He's a salsero. Um, oh, think about it because he's a poet. Very, very well-known salsa singer. Um, a trombonist. He plays the trombone. Musical artist, and he's a New Yorican, right? Born in New York, but Puerto Rican heritage, right? And so I was always bothering Def, telling him, "We gotta redo this song. I love this song. I think it needs to be like we gotta do it. We gotta do a new song. We gotta do something with it." And we did, and this is it. The song is called Sin Poderte Hablar, which means how do we say that in English? Sin poderte hablar. And I can't and
Without
I
being able to talk to you.
without being able to talk to you. I know, right? Sounds so different in English. In Spanish, it sounds like a novela, sin poderte hablar, right?
Oh,
But it
it
means
always sounds better in Spanish.
in Spanish, right? But without being to talk to you. I changed the name right now, although I'm giving Willie Colon his credit because this is and we used certain parts of the song. We didn't sing the whole song, but we used parts of the song. So I put it real short. It's called Los Celos, right? It means the jealousy. And it's about, because it's in Spanish, so I have to tell you what is it about. Um, Two people who want to be together, but they really can't be together. And they're going through the motions because they really feeling each other, but everyone's watching them. It's a very interesting song. But we played along with it, and I love what we did here. And I'm really proud about this, Def. You did a good job. All
Oh,
right.
me?
Yes, yeah, you, Mr. Def Porsche over here. All right, we ready, y'all. This is called Los Celos, and we did a little video. You know me, I like my funny videos. Let's go.
Quisiera decirte tantas cosas, pero ya sé que la vida es así.
Sé que no debo decir lo que dicta mi emoción. Siento que gustas de mí y no sé por cuál razón. Los celos me están matando. Quiero estar cerca de ti. Mi amor te está esperando. Yo te quiero hacer feliz.
Si pudiera decirte
Te quiero
solamente
hacer feliz.
una palabra,
Ay, ay, ay,
mía
ay.
serás.
Cuando tú me estás mirando, cuando el tiempo va pasando, y yo sin poderte hablar, y yo sin poderte hablar, y yo sin poderte hablar, y yo sin poderte hablar. Sé que no debo decir lo que dicta mi emoción. Siento que gustas de mí y no sé por cuál razón. Los celos me están matando. Quiero estar cerca de ti.
Quédate sentada
Y
donde
mi amor me
estás.
está esperando. Yo te quiero hacer feliz. Te quiero hacer feliz. Ay, 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 ay. Cuando tú me estás mirando.
Hasta el fin, como si nada, a tu lado,
Y yo sin
tu control.
poderte hablar.
Hey,
Oh.
snaps out to
Isn't that?
that.
You see, he would have been.
And
Hey,
I think
Sunshine liked it.
yeah, I was gonna say he liked it, but I really liked the part of Def dressed up as Elvis
That,
Elvis.
Presley,
oh
Mhm.
yeah.
and then the Game of Thrones.
Mhm.
Yo.
Oh my
I'm
God,
telling
that
you,
was
she be
so
working
funny.
wonders. She be working wonders because, like, look, like
I
all them
know.
hairstyles, I'll be like, hey, yo,
But I love
give me that,
he
cause
he doesn't get bothered by it. I could put him any hue, any shade, any color, any
But
hair. He don't care about
be
nothing.
blessed, Steph, that you have the face for it because it seems like your face fits in every character
Every
she can
frame.
think of.
yo,
And
yo,
and
word
Dr.
up.
Poetry has this imagination. It's just beautiful. I love watching the
Mhm.
videos,
I
man.
love it. I
Thank
love it.
you.
I love
Thank
it,
you.
y'all.
But y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to that. That's gonna be dropping very soon. We still
Yes,
tweaking here and there, but I love the fact that he dared to take the challenge and throw some tunes in there. He was like, Lucelo. Y'all heard
Mhm.
it? Mr. Matondo. I was
I'm working
I
on
was
it.
like,
I'm working on
yay!
it. Yeah,
Man, shout out to Willie Colon. I hope Mr. Willie Colon likes it because we switched it up a little bit. He is one of my favorite. I think he is my favorite salsa singer, Willie Colon.
he's a
Um,
poet.
and and he's definitely a poet, and I love his New Yorican swag. So love him. All right, y'all.
Definitely
Well,
dope.
any final thoughts? Cause we got it's about to go down. We've been here partying. This has been wonderful.
It
Shout
has.
out to Hear Me Out Poetry. We are back and I am loving it. We got a lot going on, y'all. We have a lot.
A
And
lot.
that's what happens. We doing so many things. But as you see, we're busy. We're not going anywhere. We here, y'all. And
Mhm.
summer coming around. We're gonna drop those songs that you like to listen to when we driving and we in the beach. So make sure y'all look into Apple Music, Spotify, play, download the music. So
YouTube.
just
YouTube as well.
YouTube. Oh,
Every day.
that's right. All this stuff that you're seeing here is going to be on YouTube as well. So just keep chiming in, and we're going to be here. And keep calling, keep writing, keep doing what y'all do. We love y'all, and we appreciate your support. All right. So without further ado, any final thoughts, Granny Wowzers?
Just a shout out to the Birdhouse family, of course,
That's right.
because they support so much. And DJ
Shout out
Chili
to
Chill
DJ.
is another
DJ
one of those
Chili Chill.
that does so many things all at one time for so
He
many
does.
people. I mean,
He
it's
does.
worth it. It's worth it. Listen to Birdhouse Radio. You could just
That's
type
right.
in Birdhouse and it'll pop up. But you can also catch them on Clubhouse, the app,
Clubhouse.
and tune in and catch it live. They're live tonight, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
So
going over there in a minute.
catch them up. But shout out to that. A shout out to All Things New Media Tech LLC. So if you're looking for an app and an app developer, you want to find out that right there.
Absolutely. Don't forget, y'all, we do have some merch. Now, we're not there yet because we are coming soon with some new merch as well. I got to modify the store a little bit, but you can go in and chime in. We're coming with some beautiful stuff because summer's around the corner, y'all. And y'all going to want some stuff from Hear Me Out Poetry. Trust me, it's the official Hear Me Out Poetry merch. Official. Hear me?
Official.
It's official. You're gonna see the Hear Me Out Poetry in the back. If you don't got that, it ain't official. I'm just saying. Just
Mhm.
remember that.
Yeah. You don't
Because
want that knockoff stuff. You want the official.
That's right.
nah,
Authentic.
no no shade to Canal Street, but this ain't Chinatown, okay?
Period.
Shout out to all of y'all. Def, any shout outs to you, Mr. Morales? I want to shout out to your brother, by the way. Can I shout out your brother?
Shout out
Shout
to
out.
my brother. Shout out to
Yeah,
my
shout out
brother.
to Chris. Yes, because
Yeah, he's
definitely
um he's
Camden
definitely
Police.
definitely serving the community. I want to give a big special shout out to all of you ladies. Um, everybody viewing. We have Poetic Clinic, uh,
Yes.
Miss Cheesecake, Granny Wowzers. They do an amazing job going
Amazing.
over different topics regarding mental. I don't want to say issues or just mental subjects,
Challenges.
challenges, and incorporating that in
Awareness.
poetry.
Awareness. There you go.
Mental
Awareness.
awareness. I had one of those fogs. Mental awareness. And like I said, it's one of my favorite shows to tune into. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure y'all go check them out.
Please.
We also have Floetic Video Box. You guys can check out. It will air and show
Fridays.
all of our on Fridays. It will show all of our poetry in video form, in music video form. So please tune into that. You can check us out on all social media. You see our names, you can type it in, you'll find us. You can search up our music and poetry on all platforms. Also, look out for, if you have any questions, upcoming events, or anything, you can go on www.hearmeoutpoetry.com, magicpearls.com as well.
That's right.
And if you guys want to link into personal sites and check everybody out, look up Granny Wowzers, look up Miss Cheesecake, look me up, Dr. Poetry. And stay tuned. Stay tuned. We have a lot more shows coming up. We have a lot of special guests. And if you guys want to share your poetry, you guys want to possibly come up as a guest, come reach out to us, hearmeoutpoetry.com. Also, you can email us at hearmeoutpoetry7@gmail.com. You can give us a call, area code 787-401-9965. Leave a message, leave your name, and bless us with your presence.
That's right. That's right. Come through. We have fabulous content creators. We have Elevated Bliss, Bree Talks, who has a wonderful show, Unveil. She has a lot going on as well. She's coming through with some shows. Make sure y'all hit that. Trip to Say. We are growing, y'all. We got great stuff coming through. We're getting a lot of stuff. I'm telling y'all don't understand. I am a little tired, so it looks like I'm probably not really super psyched, but I am on the inside. I think I got a lot of stuff happening that's wonderful, and we each and every one of us are growing with the poetry, with the shows. We are communicating. We are touching lives, y'all. This is what this is about: uplifting, enlightening, embracing erudition. I'm all for it, y'all. I really am. I keep it 100. This is real. And it's my outlet. Poetry is my baby. I don't have children, but poetry, I give birth to poetry every night. Okay? All right, y'all. Love y'all, and stay tuned. Don't forget, Hear Me Out Poetry. We're coming back on Friday. Don't forget, y'all. And Poetic Clinic on Monday. Don't forget, y'all, we have a special on autism, the Miss Cheesecake story and the Granny Wowzer story. Make sure you tune into that. Dope stuff. I was touched, and when I say it was insightful, I mean it, y'all. I was in there. I watched it twice. Okay. Plus, I was producing, but at the same time, I actually wanted to sit back and watch the whole thing. It's something about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm OCD. Y'all gonna diagnose me later. Shout out. Love y'all. We'll talk later. We'll see y'all. Bye, y'all.
Poesía. Poetry. Greek meaning poesía. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonants, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Each feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. One may refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. Latin realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair. Pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. but for me it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection, embrace my affection. In poética dieri, soy doctora poesía, soy la doctora poesial. Oh, ¿qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto. Que un herculano inició de latín. ¿El donde veo? ¿De donde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added CIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesia sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, minha filha. Fica com calma, neném. A mão não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está aborgando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Yo amo poesía con toda mi alma. Poesía. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry. And I love poetry.